Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to another edition of 30-Minute Sessions. I know it's been a long time, but I got two special guests for you. I got Hub and I got Adam. What's going on, guys? And before you guys introduce yourself, I just want to make a special shout out because this guy is extremely humble and I think he needs my recognition in me saying this. This guy, if you was to compare YouTube to like a coaching staff tree, this guy has started and still is a big influence on a lot of these channels that you see, my channel being one of them, and a lot of other channels that you see around our community here on YouTube. The Hub, his YouTube tree goes forward, and I just wanted to say thank you, Hub, for the inspiration to get back on the grind and to do YouTube videos again. I was playing video games on YouTube for a while, and I had a 3 year hiatus, and then seeing channels like you giving information. And I know you have a busy schedule with college and a job, and you still find a way to put out YouTube videos. So his link will be in the description, fam, along with Adam. And Adam, he's a hardworking guy, and I just felt like bringing Adam on with the Hub would be a perfect way to get Adam's channel out there. No offense, Adam, because you put so much work in and you have so much. This guy does the hurry up. He gives you updates constantly on the Giants, and I think this guy should be well past over 100 subs, guys. So I know I'm not at any big YouTube mark, but whatever you guys can do, whoever's watching this, peek at Adam's channel below and give him a like. How you guys doing today?
Hey man, first off, thank you for the intro, bro. I appreciate you guys inviting me on. Thank you so much for having me on here. Of course, I've known you for I'd say over a year now. Zion, AC, it's probably getting close to that year. I respect what you guys do, and you guys always got as one of the shows that you do premium takes. Like you legit got it. So thank you for having me on here, man.
Appreciate that. How you doing today, Adam?
I'm good. I'd like to say thank you for that intro as well. It's humbling because you guys have got me back into recording. Right, I didn't do it that much. I stopped. Look at my videos. 2011, I was doing the hurry up, grinding. Sitting in front of my house just trying to make videos, and you know, something happened where I stopped for a little bit. I lost the fire, but then I met Hub, I met Zion, and you guys got me fired up again. So I'm here to just have fun, give you my take, and if you like it, great. If you don't, sub up anyways.
Zion, I think your mic might be muted.
Thank you, bro. I do that a lot. I think, yeah, no, I don't think for sure. Hub just did like about an hour and a half stream on this topic with Kid Blue, so make sure you guys go check that out. But I just wanted to get his thoughts on it, if he doesn't mind bringing it to 30-minute sessions, and then I wanted to get Adam thoughts on it. So, word on the street is we were supposed to get rid of Bradbury. We all thought it was going to be yesterday. It's coming on to Saturday now. Who knows? He might still be here. We might see him gone by Sunday or Monday, but for sure he's probably going to be gone. There's a few teams that's really interested in him, such as the Oakland Raiders, such as the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then our rival in the Philadelphia Eagles. So that being said, is there any other news that you guys are hearing about it? Any other teams, or what's your guys' thoughts on Bradbury leaving, and what team do you guys think will be a perfect fit for him, or where he end up signing? Hope you can begin.
So I guess I'll start from the top, right? Yeah, we got that quote from Joe Shane on one of the WFAN podcast show. He was like, that situation is going to be resolved this weekend. Now we still have one more day, obviously tomorrow. We'll see what happens. The thing is, in that podcast, he also said it's an unfortunate situation, implying that they would have to let go of him. Otherwise, why would it be, an unfortunate situation? I've been on the train of, if we can, please do keep James Bradbury.
Yes,
He's our best
yes.
corner. I think he is one of the top 10 corners in the league, and he doesn't get recognition for it. And I feel like good coaches can work with good players. There's people that believe he doesn't fit this scheme. There's people that believe he does fit this scheme. It doesn't matter. Good coaches know how to put their good players in good situations so that they can have good success. And I believe Wink Martindale is a good coach. I believe Bradbury is a good player. I feel like that is something that can work out. But like you said, it's been all quiet on the Western Front. There's been no news. So there hasn't been any new news coming out, more so just speculation. I've seen a lot of speculation on Twitter and some other news sites saying, well, the fact that it hasn't happened yet, maybe they're actually working on an extension. Maybe they're actually working to try and figure out some way the money can be put into a future year with a void year or something. I don't know. I'm still going to wait until Sunday because I'm not a cap master. I'm not a cap expert. I never act like it or try to be it. But I don't know of a way where we could keep him on and sign our rookies. We got 11 rookies to
Good
sign. They need
point.
to be
I love
signed
that.
before anything else, right? Even
Yes.
if there's a couple guys on here, a few months down the line that don't make the roster, you have to sign your rookies as an NFL team. Get that done. We also have, like, last time I counted, 23 undrafted free agents that we brought in. So we have to get all these guys under first. Some people may not like the way it is, but you got to take care of basically that new crop of incoming players. And in order to do that, you're going to have to cut Bradbury is the way it looks.
I like that.
I agree with you, Hub, keeping Bradbury. You can never have too many good players on a team, especially a team that's rebuilding. There is a rumor that Joe Schoen has an idea of a contract that they would work out. And I'm pretty sure this guy is going over every scenario possible. Now, the only scenario that I would fear is the one that Zion said. I do not want him going to Philadelphia, all right, and gearing that team up, because that team is a corner away from having a really good defense, right?
And Darius Slay has he's been doing some of the social media recruiting with Bradbury for a week now, I want to say.
So and I was talking to Zion before. I said to somebody, if somebody asked you to take a pay cut and you hit all your numbers, you hit all your marks, and are you going to say no? Like, that's not fair to you. You met all your requirements in your job to get your bonus or whatever money, and now they're going to say, well, James, we got to cut you because you have to take a pay cut because of this. I would say no. I would be like, absolutely not. Just cut me. So for me, he deserves it. He hit his numbers from 2020 this year. He is a lockdown corner. He'll fit Martindale's scheme, because I think in Patrick Graham's scheme, he wasn't used correctly at the beginning of the year.
I think just the beginning, Adam, and I've said this. This is a point that I brought up. It's been beaten to a horse, but for maybe people that didn't hear it. So I called the games. I'm sure you've either called the games or you definitely looked at it. We've all counted several games last year where this man was 10 yards off. There was a game where I counted he was 15 yards off. Right. Nobody is succeeding in that situation.
Right, exactly. And so for me, in Wink Martindale's system, you need bigger corners to play press man that they're going to play, because they have a blitz-heavy scheme. And that's what he did in Carolina. Then he came here, and that's what we're supposed to play. But due to injuries and scheme fit and not wanting to lose ball games, getting beaten over the top, this is the reason why he's playing this way. So he was technically brought in to do exactly what Wink is asking him to do, but they didn't because of the injuries and the liability of, the big plays that they didn't want to give up. And I think that's what hurt Patrick Graham, was that not utilizing the players correctly led to, inside 2 minutes scrambling, right?
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you brought up that last point, because a lot of people forget. Yeah, we were like that zone-heavy, weak zone, bend not break defense last year, but we were not supposed to be. Patrick Graham never ran that before in his career. In Miami, he had kind of a blitz-heavy system. He had a similar, well, not similar, but just in terms of blitzing, you could see there's a resemblance between his and Wink's in that sense, right?
Right.
And that offseason, you look at what we did in terms of the secondary acquisitions. We signed and drafted all man corners. We were not supposed to be a weak zone system. It just, like you said, injuries and, the team honestly being worse and coaching being worse. It was a whole lot of combinations of whatever, but it turned out to be that weak zone, and that's not why we actually signed Bradbury. So once again, yeah, I also believe that he could fit the scheme, but I digress. Good coaches could use good players. And with the was it Zion or was it you, Adam, that said that Joe Schoen, I almost said Joe Judge, Shane thinks he has a contract in mind? Which one of y'all was that?
That was me. I've heard Joe Schoen in interviews say that they have a contingency plan to keep him if they want to. I mean, it's a numbers game, right? If you tell James, hey, I'm cutting your salary of $13 million, now I'm going to give you 10, you're going to be like, well, how am I going to make that up, right? Otherwise, cut me, I make 11, right? So it's going to be Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm glad that's another point you brought up, because James Bradbury has also been the most consummate professional there is. Like, we've heard not a peep out of this man. In fact, he does want to stay with the Giants. There was this was a couple months ago. It's old, so maybe feelings have changed. But, he liked a couple tweets on Twitter that say, hey, was Giants fans basically saying keep Bradbury, extend him and whatnot. So it seems he wants to stay here. And his agents have also, this is a quote from Joe Judge, they've been nothing but professionals working with him. They're trying to find out a mutually beneficial situation. So it's like that even more makes me want to keep him.
Right. There's been nothing with James, and I'll try to end it with this. Look, we want to pretend that we're going to win this year because that's the bow that we're putting on this season. Keep the guys that are going to get you those wins, right? Keep the guys that are good. Have some loyalty to hard work, right? If you're going to keep Blake Martinez, you got to keep James Bradbury, because James Bradbury right now to me has lived up to the contract. It's not his fault Dave Gettleman decided to kick the can down the road and screw it up. So if I'm him, I'd stay firm. And if that means you get released, well, hey, listen, you're a good corner. You'll land somewhere.
And I don't blame him too, in the sense of like he made $4 million his first 3 or 4 seasons in the year. I mean, like, go get your bag, bro. I mean, like, he finally got paid from us, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like this guy needs to take care of his life too. As much as I want to keep him, and if we can work something out, that'll be awesome, because I really feel that we do need him. Like the hub was saying, we got AJ Brown in the division now. Like, and let's not talk like McLaurin with the Redskins and all the receivers they got, Lamb with the Cowboys and all the receivers they got. It's kind of like I like Robinson, and I do like Adoree Jackson and the other cornerbacks we have on roster, but I feel better when Bradbury's back there, and for sure that's
awesome. One last thing I want to say quickly: health. The guy's healthy. He's played all 17 games the last 2 years. Okay, so you want to now not pay him because Adoree Jackson, who can't get on the field and catch an interception for his life, you want to get rid of him? I can't do that. And then we're going to trust Wink Martindale's system to Aaron Robinson, who is a 3rd-round pick for a reason. Let's be honest. He's not a first-rounder, right? He was a 3rd-round pick. So now you want to put that guy on an island against A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, a lot of the rest of the receivers in the NFC and the NFC East, right? That's not a recipe for winning. But keeping James Bradbury, who's already, guarded those players and knows how to do it, is a better strategy.
And also, I do want to say, wasn't he knocked up a couple? He's been a mostly healthy player, but I think he was knocked up for a couple games last year, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. I think there was like 2 or 3.
I think he might have.
There was like 2 or 3 games where he, but yeah, mostly healthy player. All healthy players that come to the Giants gets injured, right? Martinez got the ACL. Bradbury was nicked up a little bit. It's a curse, yeah.
Facts. All right, so I know we all talked about the draft on our respective channels, but I just wanted to bring a question up here. I'm super excited about this year's drafts. Outside of the first 2 rounds, who do you guys think will make an immediate impact or be you most excited about of our draft picks? And you can even add in the undrafted free agents as well.
All right. So outside the first 2 rounds, there's 2 people that come to mind immediately, and I'm gonna list them in like excitement level order, I guess I could say.
I like
Dan Bellinger, the tight end, out of San Diego State, right? The Aztecs. That man, I was surprised he was still there when we picked him. I know a lot of people said Isaiah Likely, and I just want to put out, they're just kind of calling names, if that makes any sense. I like Isaiah Likely. Mm-hmm. He was one of my favorite tight end prospects. Well, a lot of people were sleeping on Dan Bellinger. I personally believe he's one of the best, if not the best, blocking tight ends in the class. I'll say one of the best, because this was a really nice tight end class, man.
Yes.
Like, it was hard for them to go wrong, and thank God they did not go wrong. He's an all-around tight end, first of all. We haven't had that in a while, somebody that can catch the ball as a tight end should. And when I say that, I mean you don't need your tight end to be a luxury like how Evan Ingram was supposed to be, or how some of the best tight ends in the leagues are. Like George Kittle's a luxury. Travis Kelce is a luxury. Yes. Boy up in Baltimore, he's a luxury. Dude over at Las Vegas, he's a luxury. And it would be great if we have that, but you don't need him to be that. You just need him to catch the ball, be able to run through a couple dudes, be able to get those, short routes, and most importantly, be able to block. And this guy can block. He's better in run blocking than he is pass blocking, but I think he'd be coached up. He's my favorite pick outside of the first 2 rounds, and I think he's immediately a starter. Look, Ricky Seals-Jones move over. I think this man's immediately a starter.
I love that. Adam.
I'm actually excited for Dan Bellinger. I knew about him since January at the Senior Bowl. That's when I started to get wind of him. Then at the Combine, he was the one beating up the damn bag. Everyone's getting beat up by a non-movable sled. This guy Bellinger comes out and blocks it and then runs a decent 40. I'm like, if this guy drops to the Giants in like the 3rd or 4th round or 5th round, whatever, I want him. Well, God must have heard the football gods must have heard me, because they gave me Daniel Bellinger, who I'm ecstatic about. To give you another player that I'm ecstatic about as well, I like Micah McFadden. I think his tape is pretty good. I do love the Beavers kid, but there's a guy that interests me on the undrafted free agent supposed list. I don't want to say that they're signed or not, but a guy that might be coming in for a tryout is Jeremiah Hall. He played Oklahoma fullback / H-back. Brian Daboll was looking for one of those, and I'm like, interesting.
We
You have a
we
fullback
brought in
now.
a couple of running backs that I saw, a little bit of talking about that. Just let me know immediately these guys might be good. Hall was one of them, and then there was another one
Corbin.
by the name Joshua something, was it?
Joshua Corbin. He's Florida State.
Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah.
Boy's got a little get up to him. I like him. He's got, what's good about him? He's got the decisive runner that Barkley needs to be. He doesn't really dance. He kind of says, "All right, there's the hole. I'm going." Right. So if you watch his film, that's what he's good at. But Jeremiah Hall is a intriguing prospect to me because the Giants have never had a fullback that could really catch. Right. Elijah Penny did nothing, but now if you make him an H-back, which is a fancy word for fullback, let's be honest, right, or move tight end. He's going to be able to help you out in the red zone, do swing passes, catch some seam routes, maybe do some goal line. So he's a gadget player that is a bigger gadget player that I want to see what Daboll does.
I like that.
And then the second player I was gonna say that I'm second most excited about was I think it was third round pick, right? Yeah, Josh Zetu, the lineman, the first guard that we took out of NC State. I know we got both. I know we got both of North Carolina's guards, but I really like Zetu. Draft night, he was somebody that I really only glanced at when I was looking at players, and then after we drafted him, I went back and I looked a little bit more, and I just got excited. He has great upside. And that's something it almost seems is a consensus thing amongst, dudes like us that are looking at him, and then like the quote unquote experts. It's almost a consensus thing that's like, he has great upside. He's really powerful. He has nice feet, which I always love in a guard, and that's because he had good experience at tackle. When you take that feet at tackle and where you have like a whole open space next to you and you're basically put in a phone booth, you're almost over prepared. And I always love it, or I always have a certain fate in tackles that move cigars. I'm like, all right, bro, you're technically over prepared in the lower body section for this. As long as you could get your hands right and you get in the gym, you should be fine. And I can see that in Zetu. I'm like, he could get in the gym a bit more. He needs to work on his punch, his hand technique, but he is somebody that could be a starter for us. I don't know. I feel like Max Garcia, it may be better than some fans are giving him credit for, but I definitely think he has potential to be our left guard of the future. And if that's the case, that's a really good draft pick no matter what.
I agree with him.
Absolutely.
There.
I like that. So I heard some Giants fans give out Beaver. I heard some Giants fans give out Coughlin. We can all agree that Blake Martinez, when he's on the field and he's healthy, he's one of the most productive players on our defense. Who do you guys think will line up next to Blake Martinez as the second middle linebacker?
I'm gonna let you go first, Adam.
I'm going to do something off the cuff here, and I'm going to say Darian Beavers is going to be the starting linebacker next to Blake Martinez. And here's my reasoning. One, I don't not like Tay Crowder, but he misses a lot of tackles and he gets blocked very easily, right? So on third down in nickel situations, I want him on the field. But what Darian Beaver gives you is he's played a little defensive end. He's played linebacker. I heard he even played some safety growing up. He's got versatility in that blitzing area. He had 6 sacks last year. So you can put him outside, inside. I just think the versatility that he would bring to this defense, if he catches on, obviously he's a rookie, but if Mr. Irrelevant can start, so can this guy. He gives you a little size, a little pop, and a little dog. So that's my hot take. I could be wrong, and if I am, so what? But for me, I want to see Darian Beavers next to Blake Martinez.
And then I would agree with you there too, because I'm like, honestly, I know you like Micah McFadden. I don't see it like that, but I think it's a toss-up between Crowder and Beavers. Crowder is still there because he has the experience, but really Beavers is at the college level superior. We'll see what happens at the NFL level, but like he's superior in almost every way. You brought up the safety thing. Thank you for doing that, because kind of a sleeper part of his game is the fact that I think he can be a good, not great, hopefully great, but I think good, not great coverage linebacker. He definitely has the athleticism for it. He, I think since 2019, allowed 0 touchdowns when he was in coverage when he dropped back. I think it was like over 700 snaps or something like that when he dropped back in coverage. So that's a good stat. Obviously it doesn't tell all, but it's a good stat. And then he has the previous experience at safety as well. We Adam covered, the tackling part, the thumper part, run defense, blitzing and whatnot. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about that, or wanted to talk a little bit about the potential he could have being a nice cover guy as well. So yeah, if it's not Crowder, my money is on Beavers.
I like it. Awesome. So we have a lot of young players on this roster. Who do you guys think will be the most improved player, or who are you guys most excited to watch next year on both sides of the ball? So one player on defense and then one player on offense.
Man, I got a couple. I don't know if I
You
could
can name
limit
a
it down to
couple.
one.
You
So
can
the
name a
first
couple.
one that came to my mind immediately was Kadarius Toney. And I'm sure you guys know I've been like a big KT defender, mostly because I feel like he gets a bad rap for a lot of the stuff that's not even his
By the
fault,
way,
and we're
real
not.
fast, Hub,
Yeah,
he never dropped music since 2020. So what does that tell you about that kid?
I mean, he has to be focused, I
He
guess.
has to be
I'm gonna have
focused.
to check up
Absolutely.
on that. But like I said, like we're not gonna get into it. But I just feel like he gets a bad rap for stuff that he doesn't even do. It's just fans assuming a lot of things about him, and that's why I'm like, all right, I got to be on this guy's side. But he is with two offensive masterminds, and we know the potential he has. So once it's not like we got to get into a whole conversation about this. This man was one of the most agile and fast as well when he hits his top speed players that I saw in the NFL last year. And if that potential fulfills itself, if these good coaches use him and put him in good situations, we might have a star on our hands. But then other players that come to my mind is my favorite guy, Andrew Thomas. I after the step forward he took last year, I say it as a joke, but I wholeheartedly believe that he can be one of the best left tackles in the league this year. Obviously, Evan Neal, I believe, could be one of the best right tackles in the league off bat. That's just how much faith I have in him. And then going on the defensive side, got a couple guys. My boy Aziz, who's probably my favorite player on the defensive side, and you guys
I like
noticed as
Aziz.
well,
Yes, sir.
really went under the radar with the fact that he broke the Giants' rookie sack record. Nobody's talking about it as much as
Eight
they
Hey,
sacks.
should.
didn't I say 8 or 9 sacks? I do believe I was on your stream and I said that
With
number.
We
Aziz,
might have a receipt for
Yes.
that.
hey,
Yes, we
bro,
do.
if you got a receipt for that, you called it. You called that because I did not see that coming. And even when we drafted him, I was so high on him. But like getting back to like just he doesn't get the recognition he deserves because I saw a tweet about this. You go on YouTube and you try to look up an Aziz Ojulari highlight tape. There's like one. I'm like, this is a guy that as a rookie got 8 sacks. I know Micah Parsons was otherworldly last year,
Yeah,
but
they
he was
they
probably the
dog him.
second best rookie edge defender, man. He's
They
getting
dog
no type of
I
recognition.
love him.
And with Kayvon, even though I want to see what Kayvon can do, Kayvon Thibodeau being added to this roster probably does more for Aziz than Aziz is
Yes,
going to do
sir.
for Kayvon.
And
There's a
Williams
lot of
as
attention
well.
going to be paid to him.
Absolutely.
And Aziz, we saw what he looks like. He looks like Blanos now. He's been hitting the gym, Black Thanos with the muscle
Carrying
mass and
boulders,
whatnot.
bro.
Yo, he's
Facts.
adding if that is reflective of what he's doing, with his mind, and he's just adding stuff to his game. I think he could break out, if you want to call it that, because I feel like he already broke out. Once again, man, 8 sacks is a breakout year to me. And then the other player on defense that immediately came to mind as well was McKinney, because we know
Yes,
Wink
sir.
loves his secondary, and he's by far our best
I think
secondary.
McKinney's
Well,
gonna
other
have a
than James
huge year.
Bradbury, by far our second best secondary player.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there. I think McKinley's going to have an absolutely huge year. He's going to thrive in this Martindale system. Go
Yeah.
right ahead, Adam.
You said a lot of the same guys, so I'll try to be different for
No,
just,
you know what? Go ahead and just compound upon it. Feel free, man.
well, okay, so I've got a few that are similar and some that are different. Well, one Aziz, I think Aziz is going to be sneaky good next year. I think people are underestimating what Kayvon Thibodeau is going to bring. That draft pick wasn't for Daniel Jones or anybody like that. That draft pick was for Aziz, because they're like, listen, good, we're going to put a number 1 over here, and you're 1B. You're not. He remember, he was going to be a first round pick last year, right?
Yeah.
So if he was going to be a first round pick, that means he's going to be an edge 1. You're not going to put him at edge 2, but because he slipped like Kobe Dean, he got picked in the second round. So I like him.
And he slipped for this a stupid reason too. It was a high school injury he slipped.
Right. Right. So an injury that, and now it seems like some Georgia Bulldogs going to have some injury brought up, and they're going to slip and go to an NFC East team. I mean, my God, 2 years in a row, it seems to be the case. But for me, the other guy I'm looking forward to is I want to see Leonard Williams. Now with some dogs on his side, people dog Leonard Williams. People don't realize how good that cat is. All right, he's getting double teamed.
He's top 5 of his position, man.
Right. He does. I mean, yeah, everyone thinks of him on the Jets, but I'll tell you what happened on the Jets. Muhammad Wilkerson happened on the Jets. Okay, he got under. Muhammad Wilkerson kind of got him the lazy tendencies that he had at the beginning of his career. You know what he did after he came to the Giants? He went and sought out Richard Seymour, a guy his body type and build, and said, "Yo, coach me up. How can you help me?" Went on to have 11.5 sacks last year. Played through injury. Okay. and had 6.5 sacks. And if he had a competent edge with Aziz, this guy is going to be all world. Now you're going to give me Wink Martindale to give a guy as athletic as Leonard Williams one-on-one situations? I mean, Leonard Williams is going to have like 8.5 sacks this year. You see. No reason to get rid of that guy. He's a building block. And then another guy I like to see on the defense, I love McKinney. I absolutely think he is the MVP of this defense. Like, to me, he's the top dog. Like, Blake Martinez, fine, but to me, if, knock on wood, he plays all 17 games, we're going to be good, because that kid changes the whole dynamic of the defense, okay? He can do so many things that people don't know yet because he was overshadowed by Logan Ryan, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're going to put Julian Love there and McKinney. McKinney can rove over the top, or he can come and lay the lumber or blitz. You know what I mean? He does some. Think of Kenny Phillips, except a little different than Phillips. Phillips has.
Listen, man. McKinney is the best safety of that 2020 class. I stand by it. I know Antoine Winfield exists, but he's been consistently in a way better defense, in my opinion. That helps you out. McKinney did this with not as good as a defense as the Bucs had.
Right. Look, yes, he performed 2 years in a row. His rookie year, he came on towards the end, and then this year he broke out, and now I expect big things from him. Like, he in the long line of decent safeties that we had. Kenny Phillips was my favorite back in 2008 when he came out, and I think a knee injury derailed his career. Otherwise, he would be pretty good. But McKinney could be getting a second contract. On offense, oh man. I'm on the Hub bandwagon with KT. Man, people be dogging him because they have PTSD with freaking Odell Beckham Jr.
And that's it's not even similar situations, too. Right. That's the crazy part.
They got PTSD, man. They're like, oh, this guy is all about this. I'm like, dude, it's the year 2022. Kids are going to do things nowadays, man. They got other hobbies. They didn't just get here because, they got here. They.
What I find weird, Adam, is that they're supportive of the other KT Vaughn, who, in my opinion, actually has a lot more stuff off the field that he's focusing on compared to Kadarius.
Right.
But they're still dogging Kadarius, but they're supportive of Kayvon. I'm like, yo, if you could be supportive of the guy that actually has way more off the field stuff, like he has tons of business deals off the field, why can't you be supportive of the guy that all he does is raps off the field? That's it.
Exactly. And that I got so furious because I'm like, first off, you're dogging this cat. Then our pick from 3 years ago, DeAndre Baker is going to jail. Okay, indicted on a court case, right? And you're worried about him singing some rap songs that that who knows? Somebody wants to listen to his music, great. The guy wants to put out rap songs, who cares? Like, who cares? In the off season, involuntary stuff, it got on my nerves. So I hope this kid has a chip on his shoulder, because I loved what he did to the media. He dogged them out too. He's like, yo, you asking dumb questions, I'm going to give you dumb answers.
Media some clowns is my favorite quote, man.
Right.
I think and we all know it got blown out of proportion because there was a dry time right before the draft, and all these Giants fans just needed something to talk about. And I could see where that little media storm, like the media always, it's like a circus, mixes things up. You know what I'm saying? It kind of got blown out of proportions. And I think him, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about Wardell Robertson. We will next in a later episode, but I just think him and Robertson on the same field will be absolutely dynamic, and it's going to be get the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands fast. That being said, we're at our time limit today, guys, but don't worry, fam. You guys are going to see these guys on future episodes, and you guys can always go click their links. You guys should go click their links in the description and hit that sub button. Other than that, Hub, plug what you have coming up on your channel. Where can these people find you? Obviously down in the description, but just plug what you have on your channel, and Adam, you do the same after.
Not anything specific coming up. Just the usual. You're gonna have the call-in show this Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Well, Young Guns I actually think is gonna be a Kid Blues this Wednesday. So yeah, not really anything specific. Hopefully Monday I'm definitely gonna have video up. I don't think I've put up a video since May 3rd, but there was nothing to talk about in my opinion, so I'm not gonna force a random vid. But I definitely, I think we all have a feeling something's gonna happen in the next 48 hours at least. So that. There's definitely going to be a video on Monday. I have a good feeling about that. And yeah, like I said, the streams, nothing specific. Kind of a calm-ish period until next week, I believe, when the rookie minicamp starts.
Schedules releasing and all the fun stuff that's happening. Absolutely. Adam?
Yes, you can sub up to my channel. I do the Hurry Up. It's kind of just a stand-up of not just the Giants, but all NFL news, predominantly the Giants, but all NFL news. I also do premium takes with this handsome man, Zenith. He and I host with Mac the Giant Fan and Jeff NYG. Tomorrow we have our show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Come on, we're going to talk everything sports, MLB, wrestling, football, you name it, we got it. We're going to cook it up for you all nice on Mother's Day, put a nice bow on it for you. And then the last thing I do is Mac the Giant Fan and I do NFC East Roundup. It's going to be basically he and I doing a show, giving it to you from all angles of the NFC East. We just did a show on May the 4th. We're going to do a scheduled show this Thursday, the schedule release show. Look for that. We're going to talk about every team in the NFC and go over some of the games and some of the marquee matchups in the NFC East. So that's what got going on with me. And thank you again, Zion, for having me.
No, thank you guys for joining. And that being said, you guys have a great day wherever you're watching from, or night, and bless up. All right, gang. See you guys later.